details. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 1, the Torah portion Ve'era. This means, and I appeared. We go to the book of Shemot, or Exodus chapter number 6, and this portion begins with verse number 3, which reads, And I appeared, Ve'era, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov as El Shaddai, and by my name Yahweh was I not known to them. So why is Yah saying this to Moshe? Well, we have to go back just a little bit to understand the situation as it is developing. And the end of chapter number 5, a very distraught, discouraged, defeated Moshe shows up in prayer and begins to lament his situation to Yah. I guess you and I have never done that before. Now, let's just use a little thought of caution here. When we think about Moses, most of us have this image in our mind of a Charlton Heston 10 Commandments movie version of him, where he's very regal and very majestic, and he stands with his beard flowing in the wind, and he's very resolute and speaks with a very commanding tone. Charlton Heston was a great actor, but that's not Moshe. Moshe is as real and as normal and human as any of us. When Yah finds him in our previous Torah portion in the backside of a desert in the middle of nowhere, catching his attention by a burning bush, Moshe he's lost. He's completely lost. He has failed at being a hero. He was, and I taught this yesterday at the time of this recording. I taught this at our previous Shabbat. He was born a slave, raised for 3 months as a Hebrew child, and then weaned as a Hebrew child, only to be taken then to the palace of Pharaoh and indoctrinated in Mitzrayite society, culture, language, and understanding, a worldview. Wanted to use that to be a hero to his lost people, his lost family, the Hebrews. That was rejected. That failed. Spent 40 years as a Midianite. Now he's a shepherd for his father-in-law. He's a nobody in the middle of nowhere, and Yah says, you are the man. And he argues, not me, can't be me. There's no way it's me. But Yah sends him. He's reluctant. He's agitated. He's scared. He's frustrated. Nothing seems to be working out right. He goes to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh shoots him down immediately, and the people start complaining. This is a disaster. Details. Let's remember the details. Let's go back a little bit further to chapter number 4. And there's a key verse that is found in verse number 21. So Exodus, Shemot 4:21. Yahweh said to Moshe, as you go back to Mitzrayim, see that you do all these wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. Here's a very important word, but I am going to strengthen his heart so that he does not let the people go. Did Moshe not hear that? He was told initially it's not going to succeed. You're not going to march in, make an announcement, and boom, everything is fixed, all the problems are solved, off you go. How many preachers have stood in a pulpit somewhere thinking, I'm going to preach this sermon, I'm going to let my people have it, and it's going to fix all my problems, only to realize I've just dug the pit deeper and I didn't fix anything. How many of you fathers have stood up to your family and demanded adherence to your way of seeing things, thinking this is going to fix it, Bubba, and that's just the way it is, only to realize they may adhere, but you've also alienated them? How many of us have thought we would do that to our employees or to anyone that we think has some sense of responsibility to us? being hard-nosed, being firm in our convictions, as we would say, doesn't always come out exactly as we think. Moshe walked in thinking, evidently, I'm going to obey the word of Yah. I'm going to do these signs, and it's going to fix it. He throws down the staff. It becomes a serpent. Well, so do other men's staves, and they become serpents. He pulls out the leprous hand. Well, they can do that too. And obviously, he is going to be a little shaken. And Pharaoh gets gruff and angry and draws a firm and hard line that he has no ability to stand against. And the people complain. So, at the end of chapter number 5, Moshe, it says in verse 22, and this is his prayer. He's just not speaking to this guy. This is a session of prayer. And listen to what he prays. Moshe returned to Yahweh and said, Yahweh, why have you done evil to this people, and why did you send me? Here again, we see his reluctance. We see his dismay at even being here. He doesn't want this job. Verse 23, for ever since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, brackets here, so much for the power of your name to Pharaoh, he has done evil to this people, and you've not delivered your people at all. This isn't working. You're not holding up your end of the bargain. Something's not right here, and I told you I didn't want to come. So in the beginning of chapter 6, Yah says, now you're going to see what I'm going to do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand, he is going to let them go, and with a strong hand, he's going to drive them out. In other words, catch a clue, Moshe. This is not coming about peacefully. The resolve of your issue with this people and with that ruler is not going to be a diplomatic, reasoned out, sign a treaty, and all shake hands and go home maneuver. I am going to work to where I destroy him, and he is going to drive you out. So he says, I'm the covenant El. I'm the one who showed up to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm the one who appeared to them as El Shaddai, which means the all-sufficient one. I proved my sufficiency to them. I proved my eternal supply to them. I proved that I watched over them. They knew me by the name Yud-He-Vav-He, Yahweh. But I was more revealed to them as El Shaddai. Yah basically says, Ani Yahweh. I am Yahweh. And you're going to have to trust that. In our given situations the world over, as you watch this video, it's primarily in the Americas, but I know that there are those who watch elsewhere. In your given situations, things may seem to be very contrary to what it is that you would desire. I'll leave it at that. That being said, the resolve is Ani Yahweh, he being himself. He had already said, my name is Ayeh, Asher, Ayeh. I am who I will be. In other words, I am eternally the same. Yah is not changing. Yah is not moving with the winds of time here. He is eternally the same. But there are revelations of him and his character that we have not yet seen. We have seen Yeshua show up as Messiah ben Joseph, the suffering servant, the caregiver, the shepherd, the gentle one who supplies. He's not returning as such. He's returning as Messiah ben David, and he's coming with a sword, and he's coming with power and authority and a rod of iron in his hand, and he's going to annihilate those that have withstood his people. We have to make a shift in our mind and in our spirit and understand things are changing. and we're going to have to trust him. He is the answer. We'll build here tomorrow. Until then, shalom.